Alright, let's take a look here. So, welcome to this video, and in this one I'm going to be working on my assembly of a map for in Unreal Engine 4. So, uh, this is really not a tutorial, but this is more like seeing a map go from this layout to something a lot more impressive. So, let me just hit save here, and I've already started here with the entrance, as you can see, using using the FPS layout for the game. Um, so let's take a look here. So this map is going to be using the what you would call it. Pop it up. Categories, environments. Here they are, Epic Games. So Epic Games is who makes the Unreal Engine, and they have a bunch of free stuff for beginners to start off with. You know, some enemies, some animations, some different themed places, and I'm just going to be using these assets more like a challenge. And the challenge is, can I make a cool environment with very simple and very unspecialized assets, I guess you could call it. And I want to see how good I can make a map look, and see if it can be immersive. And later on, after we're done with the general layout of the map, let me just pop this on here. Yeah, there we go. So once the map is done, when we've laid it all out and we've designed it, we can place objectives and other stuff through C++ scripting. So let's do it. So here we go. This is going to be a very slow process video, so if you're one of those people who don't have a lot of patience, because I'll be filtering through all of these different assets to see how it helps me. So here I've marked the bridge. So this will be like a little chasm here, and we're just gonna go down the line from one room at a time. I do have my papers here for what I have planned. Right over here, I drew it all out, what we need to do. I like to keep my level designing at a professional standard, so I try to keep it as good looking as possible. So, and this is for people who never used Unreal and just want to see it get done. So here we go. Let's see. So let's get some textures going in here. We're gonna texture these two rooms. So this is gonna be the start where the player is. So let's just icy terrain. Give us some textures. So let's take a look at what we got here. Um, Ground gravel snow. Let's slap that on there, and let's see. If you're in play, how does it look? Okay, it looks kind of nice with the shadows running on the snow. It actually gives it a very icy look, and I can see the gravel just a little bit, but we'll see here how this goes. Um, so yeah, we'll keep some continuity between the rooms. So we'll use it for both flooring. Now I know what some people will be thinking right now. They're thinking, oh look, it looks very much the same. Not very interesting, but don't worry. We're gonna be varying this up. So keep that in mind. So the player, what I had an idea was the player is going to start in a very rocky environment, and this is going to be a multiple phase thing. This is not just one level. It's going to transition into another level. So they're going to start with what I like to call the fortress approach, and this is where the player will begin his journey, and we're going to keep moving on from there. And it's gonna eventually we're gonna build the fortress, which should be super exciting. And then the fortress will be a series of levels of different portions of the fortress as you go through it. So, and I'll explain the plan as we get along there, because I could sit here all day and start explaining this, and forever will pass. So let's and by the way, these way I've used these platforms, I've used something called a technique called level blocking, which is when you take very basic objects here in the BSP section, and you use these to block your level out with planes and cubes and all that good stuff. So, and I'll show you some when I get there. I'll show you some really cool stuff we can do. So, with these tools. So let's take a look here. So we want the player to be approaching in a canyon. So let's go back to advice. I would say let's start with cliffs. Very interesting approach here. So, all right, let's take a look at what we got here. So we got a lot of variety here when it comes to how we're gonna do these walls. So as you can see, these walls are massive. So this is gonna be like a very big entrance. So let's see here. And don't worry, we can totally change the scale of these things here. So we're gonna bring it down just a little bit. I'm gonna bring that back in, and it's not cutting into the other map, so it's all good. Let's take a look how this looks at the size to the player. So if a player came in, he's gonna feel like it's gonna be very claustrophobic, I would say, and so we're just gonna make a duplicate of that, and we're gonna bring it all to the other side, and we're gonna turn it around, turn around every now and then. So I've been using the Unreal Engine for a couple of days. I've come from as I do this, the Unity engine, and a lot of differences. I gotta give it to Epic Games there for making a really powerful engine and free to use. So I would say there we go. That looks right. Because a player, can we see that? Can we? We can. I don't like it. I don't like it. There we go. So maybe it needs to be brought up too. There we go. To close that gap off. That's what I'm talking about. That's a lot better. So we got these canyons and cliffs. Let's see. Oop. There we go. I got an idea. This light source here is making it very difficult to tell what the hell's going on. So we'll make the light face away so we can totally see what we're doing here. So let's take a look at this piece here. This piece is... Okay, that makes sense. So let's bring this in. And this is another nice little, I guess you could say, technique I like to do, because I've seen some people with, when they're working with these engines and all this good stuff. You know what? Let's bring this in here, and yeah, let's work like a bunch of miners, right? In the mining shaft. So source radius, raise that up. Source length. Let's raise that up. Intensity. Let's raise it up. Alright. This is no way, by the way, the lighting we're going to be using in this spot. This is simply just so I can see what I'm doing. Which is really interesting. A way of doing it. But, like I was saying, this is another, I guess you could say, technique I like to use for when building levels. Is, as you can see, these are clearly two different assets, but what we're going to do here is we're going to mesh it in there just a little bit, like how we just... So now as you can see, it added a little bit to the rocks. You see that? Like how that worked? Um, it's gonna help build variety in a level. So, um, and let's see, what else do we got here? Oh, we need it to be some length. So we can put this here. We can rotate this because you can see it's got a little. This is a very corner-centric piece. So let's do this, and let's bring it in a little bit. Let's see how this will look when we bring it in. So there we go. So we bring it in just like that, and then we move it here, here, and there. So now if we play and we take a look, as you can see, we've built a very interesting, what almost seems, it seems very organic wall. You know, it doesn't seem man-made with various heights, you know, and look at these are just various assets and models being worked on over here. So next thing, let's bring this sucker into. And as you can tell, that I am also experimenting with the assets as well. I didn't make these models, or toolkit, I guess you could say in a weird way. So like that, see that doesn't look very natural, right? That I don't think that does. Let's bump it up here just a little bit. Kind of make it line up with the snow. Maybe dip the snow in here just a little bit. Slide it over, maybe a little bit of, no, maybe, let's see how it looks in first person. So players coming across. I guess it looks right. We can always add a little bit foliage if it's just not doing it. So let's take a look here. So another cool trick I like to do is, see, as you can see, this is level 1 area. Like this is one room kind of area sort of ordeal. So what I kind of would like to do here is everything that's part of this area. So like, let's say we want this just to be the main piece, and then we right there, and we just drag it, dump it in here, and then boom, you know, like right here, I did the same thing here. So all these, so like as you can see, all of them are part of the same piece now. Yay. What the hell was that? Okay. So, and this helps you keep your hierarchy organized in the corner up here. So let's take a look. Let's see. So I think that's a very cool entrance. And don't worry about these. We'll patch these up and hide them. So as you can see, and we'll build more walls over here, so we'll be able to hide those too. And let's keep this going. So, all right. So this room, we need to add a little bit more variety to the room. Kind of build a path to the player to get them started, at least. And so let's kind of build some ice shelves here. Yeah, room's not looking so boring no more. Looks like it's got a little action in there. Okay. Ooh, interesting piece. Oh, actually, this piece worked out better than even I suspected. Interesting. Just shift it over. Oh, that looks nice. That looks good. Adding a little variety to the room. Okay, so let's go back to not cliffs anymore. Let's go back to mountain. Static meshes. This is a good And this is basically how we're going to um, make the room seem more entertaining. Is oh, how does this look? That's not right. No. That ain't gonna work in this spot. Um, and we can take a little foliage, just dump it in the corner here, and we'll let the player progress. So there we go. And the ground could still use a little bit. Yeah, it could use a little something like this, I think. So if we just blended that into the ground effectively, right? Does that look right? No, it really doesn't fit the theme of the room, does it? I don't think it does. Ice shards. Uh, we can add a little bit more of these. These are very nice and easy to blend. You can do a lot of variation with them, like that. And then, ooh, there we go. So, how high can we? There we go. How does this look in as a player? It's kind of coming from a source. Don't worry, we can. Oh, I actually have a much better idea for something like that. Um, let's find it real quick. There we go. So if we raise this up, right? Maybe we do a rotation. This. Then, instead of putting it all over the map, snow. Alright. Let's duplicate it. And then rotate it the other way. Boom, and make it complete 180. We can put the two snows together. Then put it on player start. And now if we play, no, not player start. My apologies. We need to put it on. Let me find the. Maybe. Oh, let me hit play. So what is the. Okay, so here's my first person stuff. Okay, I got a better idea. We're gonna increase its scale. That's what we're gonna do. So no, that doesn't do anything. It just makes it look more retarded. maybe add this a little bit later. We're gonna add this a tad bit later. Um, let's get the rest of this ground sorted out here. So maybe we can add a little bit of foliage over here. Give it some various heights and sizes. A little bit of variation there. Oh, I still have snow falling here, but we don't need this. Now, let me go back up here to my atmospheric fog. I'm gonna put this here. Already has maxed out intensity, so just actually the ice set. I can see it now. Start to give it a little eerie fog look. So, don't worry, we're gonna add background and all that good jazz soon. So, don't worry, we'll add all that in a bit. There we go. So, as you can see, I'm building a little bit of a path here. And let's go back to ice. Huh. There we go. And so we gotta remember here, this is one of the notes I had on my sketch of the map. When we do a fortress, right? We're doing an approach to a fortress. We want autosave. Okay, that's cool. But we want it to represent that this is we're approaching a dark and foreboding fortress. So what we're gonna do with this is we're gonna give in level design, every level needs to tell a story. So what we're gonna do is we're going to tell the player by showing the player. And that's what we're going to do here. So what we want to do is we want to make it a little bit like this is an old ruined fortress, right, that they're approaching. So what we need to do is we need to add a little environment stuff here. Um, like this. It's very in character, very icy, right? And we're going to do this, and then we're just going to tilt this sucker, and then we'll make a duplicate here. And then we're going to rotate it a little bit. Move the tilt a little bit this way, just like that. And as you can see now, this is going to like symbolize old, ruined areas, and another cool little effect is, see, like how we take stairs, right? It's all manipulation. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring this sucker down to size, and we're gonna manipulate these stairs to look more like rock, like old rock and very varied rock. So what we're gonna do is here, and we'll even make it a little bit. Oh no, no, we're gonna shrink it down, move it up and out. As you can see here. No, that's not gonna work. We need to give it some life again and make it look a little bit natural. So what we want to do is we want to do it just like this. And we want to push it in just a little bit. Just like that. And as you can see, this is given the environment a little bit of more texture. You see what it's done? We're doing texture work without having to make a very specific texture. As this uses more models, it can put a lot of strain on a PC, but we're not making an open world game, so we can really emphasize on the detail. And when we do level of detail, we can, when you do PC settings, you can also set how many triangles and polygons and etc. you want something to load. So we can manipulate this. So let's take a look here. And I feel it's a little bit empty here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring. Let's see what this is. Is this literally just a chunk of rock? Okay, okay. That's actually kind of what we need. So here we go. Bring this up in here. No, not really. It's too small. A collection of ice shards like this. And we're going to place these just about right there. And then put some rocky snow down. A little bit. Just like that. And we want to move it right there. And let's put down a different style of rocky snow. And we got a little bit of the Superman thing going here. And what is this? It's a cloud. Cloud plane. Okay. Oh, my point light. Now that looks about right. So there we go. And looks right. Let's see. And if we take these and we give them a little bit of like that. Take it and we put it down just a little bit there. And we make a little duplicate. Make another duplicate. And then we rotate this sucker. Now that looks much better. So we went from, and as you can see, this is, that point light won't be there, but as you can see, and I'll get rid of these preview things because this is just around. Well, we'll get rid of them. Don't worry. So as you can see, as you can see what we've accomplished here before we go into part two, because part two will be this next room, because this is going to take some time to build part two here. So it's going to be a nice chasm, and you're going to see how this is going to work here. So as you can see, as the player starts here, through the gate, enters a room. As you can see, we have a nice ambient fog. And you know what? For the sake of the video, let me just expand this. There we go. Let me just make this a little bit bigger so everyone can see properly. So as you can see, as the player enters here, we got nice little fog. The player comes in. You got a nice lens flare, you know, kicking in with the point light, which is actually, I'm really digging it right now. So I don't know. Well, we'll see. But as you can see, like it does a couple of things. It has atmospheric fog. It's building a sense that the snow is coming off the ground. And as we all know, sound is actually a very, in my opinion, a very big fundamental to level design, because sound brings the player into your world. Without the sound, though, we'll have a little gust of wind sound, you know. And I do have the audios. We'll add those later. And as you can see, it tells a story a little bit. You know, we got the wavy, snowy leaves to give the illusion of a wind. As you can see, this fog is blowing, so there must be a wind. So these leaves are giving that illusion. And then you have these, like these things, like a player is not gonna, when they play your game, they're not gonna be like I'm pretty sure you've all played games. You're not like, oh, this tells a story. But no, it's subliminal, you know, message. It's a subliminal message to show age. And I think it's really, really showing really well right now. This was an old and forgotten place. And that's what I was going for, that this place is old. But when we get to the fortress, you're going to see that theme change, you know, and it's going to be kind of like those deja vu moments you have with like a haunted house. And it's going to be really interesting to go there, and then when I work on adding AI and stuff in the future. So this was part one, and the next part we're going to be working the chasm, which I'm going to start recording right after this anyway. So thanks for watching, and toodles.